Tired of doom scrolling? Time for a dose of awesome. 5 Good News Stories is your happy place, where underdogs become champions, crossing guards become legends, and impossible dreams come true. We're serving up 5 fresh reasons to believe in humanity. From world records to cute animal stories, to that guy who turned his pizza shop into a homeless shelter. These are the stories that'll make you go, wait, what? That's amazing! Ready for your good news fix? Follow 5 Good News Stories wherever you get your podcasts, because let's face it, we could all use more awesome in our lives. The number 5 Good News Stories.
It is the world's most secretive election. When a pope dies, ancient traditions begin. A silver hammer, a destroyed ring, over 100 cardinals locked away from the world, choosing the next leader of 1 billion faithful. White smoke. The path to a new pope, from Calaroga Shark Media, wherever you get your podcasts.
Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Man, I hope Andrew Schulz is okay. The poor guy, he just went out to take in some professional wrestling, and he's there, and Logan Paul wanted to hear Andrew say some nice things about Logan Paul, but Andrew preferred to name Seth Rollins and CM Punk and the Phenomenal One, and boy, Logan Paul did not like that, pulling Andrew Schulz out of the crowd. Luckily, AJ Styles came to the rescue. Let's listen.
I know who I want to see. I want to see AJ Styles. That's who I want to see tonight. Jeez. AJ Styles.
Oh, no, come on, Logan. Logan, he's a guest.
Maybe AJ will come. Andrew Schulz's special on Netflix right now called Life.
Yeah, he might not have one soon.
He's absolutely spectacular. This is no way to be treating a comedic genius like Schulz.
Logan, he's a guest.
Logan! Don't
no, come on now. Logan,
don't do it. Thank you.
Well, here comes AJ Styles. Styles is going to call out Paul tonight. And now he comes out to save Schulz, and now Styles and Paul going at it. AJ Styles has heard enough.
The folks over at Hularious, you know, my friends at Hulu, they put together a really good campaign, this one from Adweek. Jim Gaffigan, Bill Burr, and Sebastian Maniscalco are sitting in a diner, and in walks the Hulu mascot, which is basically the Hulu logo with, like, mascot arms and legs. It's a big-time campaign, including out-of-home ads placed near comedy venues in L.A., New York, and Chicago. Is that where you need to reach people? I think you need to reach Middle America. I guess this is just an imaging piece. Social media placements, influencer partnerships. Hi. Hello. So, Hulu. Dudes, come on, man. I know it's not the biggest show, but it's the right show. And I have filled out the Hulu Media Relations form, and no one got back to me. You get back to me and go, your show sucks, it's terrible, you badmouth us all the time, your show's too small. That's fine. But come on, someone get back to me. Influencer partnerships, but not podcasts dedicated to fans of stand-up comedy. Digital banners, bus takeovers, and dedicated billboards and posters at locations like Walt Disney World, Disneyland Resort, and in Times Square. Boy, this is a lot of money. Anyway, the 45-second spot is called Meet Up, and it's pretty good. Let's take a listen.
All right, what's this about?
Well, I wanted to introduce you guys to something. Well, someone.
Wait, is this about religion?
No.
Because you're always doing that.
Here they are. Bill, Sebastian, I'd like to introduce you to Hulu.
Oh, wow.
Hulu is getting into the stand-up business, and I think you guys would be perfect for it. They're calling it Hularious.
Jim.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, that's the Hulu mascot. I think it's trying to shake your hand.
Brand new stand-up specials every month, now streaming on Hulu.
Why is it looking at me like that? It's not looking at you, it doesn't have a face.
According to Aaron Goldman, EVP Creative Marketing of Disney Entertainment Television, it was Jim Gaffigan, who we're told has a history in advertising, who came up with the concept for the spot and was, quote, a great partner in bringing Bill Burr and Sebastian Maniscalco together for the campaign. Possibly, perhaps, may be true. Also, possibly, perhaps, in their contracts, they have, usually with these things, hey, we're going to give you a lot of money. You got to do a couple of promotional hits. Could have been that. Or Jim was just like, hey, Bill and Sebastian, can the three of us jump on a Zoom? I got to pitch you an idea. Who knows? Goldman said it was a total partnership from the beginning. Jim wrote the script and collaborated with Ryan Brasno, the SVP of Creative Marketing for Hulu, and Johnny Mazur, who is the Executive Creative Director for Brand Marketing, who Gaffigan collaborated with those guys to bring it to life. I should note that the three comedians also improvised and riffed, which added some hilarious beats that ended up in the creative. Guys, this is a 45-second commercial. So Jim sketched out, I don't know, the three of us are in a diner and the Hulu mascot walks in. This is not Godfather 2. Goldman noted that in addition to the full spot, there will be shorter pieces rolling out on social. And he also talked about the song. We made a custom Hularious song, which is featured in the spot based on Duran Duran's Notorious. We changed the lyrics to Hularious and hopefully created a song that you can't get out of your head. Now on that, I was curious, who the hell sold out to Hulu? Was it Simon Le Bon who did this? And I have learned from the internet, Warner Chappell Music. Is it Chappell? Is it Chappelle? It's not Dave Chappelle. Warner Chappell Music and Sony ATV Music Publishing own parts of Duran Duran's catalog. The Warner folks own the rights to the catalog from 86 to the present, including many of the band's hits, including Notorious. They also own the publishing rights to all the band's current and future compositions. Wow, a future deal Duran Duran did. Wow. I won't say I'm the biggest Duran Duran fan, but I've been known to drive around listening to Duran Duran, and you could play both Hungry Like the Wolf and Rio on endless repeat, and I will never tell you to turn it off. Notorious, also one of my favorite Duran Duran songs, and also a big fan of A View to a Kill, which is, as you know, the best James Bond theme. Goldman tells us they're looking at using the Hulu mascot as a connective thread for future Hularious campaigns, and he got the funny in, saying in the meantime, we take turns wearing it to the office. Bill Burr is out tomorrow. Then in April, we get Jessica Kirson, August Ralph Barbosa, and Sebastian Maniscalco in November. This article didn't mention who else is in the list. I'm racking my brain here to remember who else they announced. And I'm not sure that they've announced anybody. Maybe I forgot one. Anyway, Hulu Publicists, get back to me. Trae Crowder's special's out today on the 800-Pound Gorilla YouTube channel. In Trash Daddy, Trae tackles everything from the absurdity of cultural and social stereotypes to his unusual and hilarious childhood upbringings as he reflects on the ultimate parental role as a trash daddy. And did you see who the New York Times profiled? They profiled friend of the show, Jason Zinnaman of the New York Times. Jason and I actually recently connected. He's going to come on the show in a few weeks as we get closer to the 20th anniversary of Mitch Hedberg passing away. I'm a big fan of Mitch and just wanted to observe the moment, and I asked Jason to come on, so we're going to record that in a week or so. Other people at the New York Times asked Jason, which do you enjoy more? By the way, this article speaks to me. I am aligned with everything Jason says here. Jason Zinnaman, which do you enjoy more, finding a new angle on a well-known figure or introducing readers to an unfamiliar subject? Now, if you listen to me every day, you know what I'm going to say. You know what I say about the festivals, right? Jason said, I take more satisfaction in writing about somebody who nobody knows about. One of the great things about this beat is you spend time in improv houses and clubs and get a sense of who's going to break big in the future. I remember seeing Hannah Gadsby at this tiny theater. I was like, this is going to be a big part of the discourse, and it's engaging in some really provocative ideas. Being the first critic to see her show in America and introduce her to readers was really satisfying. Amen. A million years ago, back at Sirius, I used to really love spotlighting artists. I remember we had Hannibal Buress Week. I remember we did Tim Minchin Week. We used to love going out of our way and going, hey, audience, check out this really cool person who you haven't heard of yet. Jason adds, I think one of the jobs of critics is to say just because something is popular doesn't mean it's good. These people who are not getting a spotlight are often some of the most gifted artists. Times. How has the comedy landscape changed since you started covering it 15 years ago? Jason. Increasingly, there are artists doing work on TikTok and Instagram that we need to do a better job of figuring out ways to recognize. For a lot of teenagers, their introduction to comedy isn't like mine. Their first experience with comedy isn't watching late night talk shows. Their stand-up comic is probably going to be on social media, so we have to meet people where they are. Now, that's interesting to me, and I totally respect it. For my personal thing, doing this podcast, I feel like if I started getting on here and chasing after TikTok comedians, I would be the Paul Buscemi, hello, fellow kids meme. And just at some point, it's not my generation. It's not my thing. I will stay in my lane. I admit to living on Old Man Mountain and don't think Jason's wrong. I just think if I started doing it, it would be like, come on, old man. Jason says he sees live comedy 3 or 4 times a week. I still go out a lot, but less. There's 2 reasons for that. One, to get a sense of who's out there. There's less of a need to go as often. I totally get that. But the bigger reason is the bounty of comedians online. When I started this job, I was covering comedy as akin to covering theater. Before I wrote about someone, I wanted to see them live. But increasingly, the way that most people are consuming comedy is through social media and streaming platforms. So now I spend more and more time looking at comedians online and listening to podcasts. That totally makes sense. And you've heard me talk about this. So I'm glad Jason said it. The question, are you someone who laughs out loud at shows? I call this Emperor of Rome syndrome. Jason said, I suffer from the same thing that most comedians do, which is that if you see as much comedy as I do, you laugh less. That doesn't mean I enjoy it less. I'm not someone who laughs a lot in the audience. Sometimes that makes me self-conscious because if I'm in a room with very few people, it has a big impact if no one's laughing. So I've even found myself at times fake laughing just to not distort the room or because I feel it's almost rude not to. But I try to be honest with my laughter. Great stuff. Big fan of Jason's work. Grab your phone. It's time for March college basketball. You know how that rolls. Yeah, I'm working from home. Yeah, I'm totally not watching the games. I'm totally working. Nothing beats March basketball. Bring the fun of a bracket to every game day by making entries on Underdog. Underdog is one of the leading sports apps, and you can play it now in your state. Do you want to win up to 1,000 times your money? You can with Underdog. Who do you go for? Do you like the favorites or do you like riding, no pun, one of those underdogs? You know, a 16, that's always fun. And it's always fun to have some extra interest in the game. Pick a player and go higher or lower on one of their stats, including points, assists, rebounds, and more. Underdog has all your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from. You can create entries with all basketball selections or mix and match across other sports. You can play with as little as $1, and if you get everything right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. So turn $1 into $1,000 just with your hoops knowledge. You've heard me talk about this. I'm in the comfy chair. I've got my phone. I'll put on a game. I pick a player. I go higher or lower. I think for basketball, I'm kind of a lower guy. Download the Underdog app and sign up now using the promo code DCN to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus credits when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up with promo code DCN. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus credits instantly upon first deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus, Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus, Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Void where prohibited. Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP, 1-800-639-8783, or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Underdog app, promo code DCN. iHeart had their 2025 iHeart Podcast Awards. This is one of those awards that if you win, you're excited. And if you're not part of it, you just kind of eye roll it. It's, you know, iHeart, they make podcasts. I'm not saying that they have their thumb on the scale, but, you know, there are basement podcasts like this one, and then there are the establishment podcasts. So, you know, Best Sports Podcast went to the Kelsey brothers. Sure. But, you know, I bet if we really dug down, somebody's doing like a really great Kansas City Royals podcast if we really took the time to look. But that's not how these big, shiny awards like. And the winner for Best Podcast goes to Tony and Jose from Kansas City. They host Royals Talk. Like, that doesn't make for a good award show. So understand what this is. The podcast of the year, Las Culturistas with Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, you know, somebody's probably doing a pretty good Game of Thrones podcast out there, too. It just doesn't make for a good award show. On the same note, Best Comedy Podcast, Fly on the Wall with Dana Carvey, David Spade. Sure, makes a lot of news, great stories, SNL, Hot Topic, talented guys, funny guys, great podcast to listen to. Same thing, and I'm not saying, oh, I should have won Best Comedy. I should not have won Best Comedy Podcast. No way. But, you know, is Carvey and Spade better than what Tim Dillon's doing? I don't think so. Best Ad Read. Got to give out an award for Best Ad Read for some reason. That went to Conan O'Brien. Speaking of Conan, Late Nighter reports that Conan O'Brien Must Go has been renewed for a third season. Well, yeah, Conan's red hot right now. Although, Late Nighter points out, for those paying close attention, the announcement is less a season 3 pickup as much as a shuffling the deck of what we already had. They explain Conan's second season was set to run for 6 episodes. That was ordered just after a month. But according to the new announcement, season 2 will now consist of just 3 episodes, and HBO did not specify how many episodes have been ordered for season 3. I'm going to guess 3. Netflix just did this with Meghan Markle. They said, oh yeah, we renewed Meghan Markle for season 2. The thing is, those episodes are already in the can. That's like me telling you this podcast has already been renewed for next weekend. Season 2, all 3 episodes. Don't you hate that when, like, you're excited or something? Are you watching The Pit? The Pit is the medical drama on Max. 15 episodes. It's almost like old school TV. Remember, we used to get 26 episodes of things in the good old days? Now we usually get 8, or in the case of Conan O'Brien, we get 3. 15 is amazing. Anyway, Conan O'Brien Season 2, all 3 episodes coming out in May. Rami Youssef has a project called Number 1 Happy Family USA, which follows a Muslim-American family in post-9/11 America. The premiere takes place on September 10th, 2001. I can tell you exactly where I was that day. I was at Jones Beach. Rami premiered the series at the South by Southwest TV and Film Festival and explained, "There's a representation warning in the beginning of every episode that tells you not to use this show as representation. I've had a very torn relationship with representation and the idea of what it should do or what it is. This is a show about capitalism, and I think when you watch the first couple episodes, you'll see that, but it's certainly not representative of Arabs or Muslims, many of which I think will see things that they really appreciate, and other things will be like, what the F, Rami? Why did you do this stuff?" He revealed he pitched the series during Trump's first term. That's how long it's been. Remember the happy Trump? He's sad now, by the way. I don't know if you guys noticed. The audience laughed. "I don't think he likes this either. I haven't seen him smile once the whole time. The first time he's always laughing. So yeah, shout out to him. This guy's miserable." Send your letters to Rami Youssef. All 8 episodes premiere April 17th on Prime Video. And that is your comedy news today. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll talk about Mulaney. I didn't forget about Mulaney, but I also stay up to 1 a.m. to record the podcast. And Bill Burr has a special out. I don't know if you heard about that. That's out tomorrow as well. So plenty to talk about tomorrow. See you then.
It is the world's most secretive election. When a pope dies, ancient traditions begin. A silver hammer, a destroyed ring. Over 100 cardinals locked away from the world, choosing the next leader of 1 billion faithful. White Smoke. The path to a new pope. From Calaroga Shark Media. Wherever you get your podcasts.
If you're fascinated by UFOs, aliens, ghosts, demons, cryptid creatures like Bigfoot, Chupacabra, and Mothman, then I have the show for you, The Paranormal 60 with Dave Schrader. Each week, we investigate different claims of the supernatural and try to shed light into the darkness, bringing you the top guests and experts from around the world. Enter the fray. Then join me, Dave Schrader, your host, as we investigate all aspects and claims of the supernatural and paranormal. Listen on all of your favorite podcast platforms: Good Pods, TuneIn, Pocket Casts, Deezer, Player FM, Amazon Music, Audible, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Google Podcasts, CastBox, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. The answers to life's biggest questions and miracles and mysteries awaits you. So join me each week, 2 brand new episodes of the best in paranormal podcasting, The Paranormal 60 with Dave Schrader.